Welcome back, creators. Imagine giving an AI full access to your computer, your files, your scripts, your browser, your calendar, and letting it run 24/7 without supervision. Sounds powerful, right? It's also a little terrifying. That's exactly what OpenClaw, formerly known as ClawdBot, is designed to do. It's one of the most capable open-source AI assistants ever built, but installing it directly on your daily machine is like handing your house keys to a stranger and hoping they don't eat all your snacks. In my previous tutorials, I walked you through how to install everything directly on Windows and showed you how to use OpenClaw to run real tasks for you. If you want a full local installation guide or hands-on demos, make sure to check out those videos on my channel. So today, we're doing this the smart way. Instead of risking your main system, we're going to build a fully isolated Linux virtual machine on your Windows computer. Why Linux? Because OpenClaw was developed in a Linux-first environment, and that's where it performs at its absolute best. And don't worry if you've never touched Linux before. I'll walk you through everything step by step, from creating the VM to installing OpenClaw safely, cleanly, and with zero stress. Let's get started. Before we install a Linux virtual machine on Windows, there are a few important prerequisites we need to take care of. These steps ensure your system is ready and prevent errors during installation. 1. Make sure you have at least 80 gigabytes of free disk space. Open File Explorer and right-click on the drive where you plan to install the VM, usually the C drive. Select Properties and check the available free space. You'll want at least 80 gigabytes free to comfortably run a Linux virtual machine. 2. Turn off Windows Memory Integrity. In the Windows search bar, type Core Isolation. Open the Settings panel and switch Memory Integrity to off. This feature can interfere with virtualization, so disabling it is necessary. 3. Disable Windows Hyper-V. In the search bar, type PowerShell, right-click it, and choose Run as Administrator. Enter the following command: codeptit/set hypervisor launch type off. Press Enter. This turns off Hyper-V so our virtualization software can run properly. 4. Restart Windows. Once all the above steps are done, restart your computer to apply the changes. To install a Linux virtual machine on Windows, we need to take care of a few quick prerequisites first. Step 1. Download VirtualBox. Open your browser and search for Download VirtualBox. Go to the official site at virtualbox.org, navigate to the download page, and choose VirtualBox for Windows hosts. Once the installer finishes downloading, run it and follow the setup wizard. You can safely keep all the default installation options. Step 2. Download the Ubuntu Desktop ISO. Before we can install our Linux virtual machine, we need to grab the Ubuntu Desktop installation file. This comes as an ISO image, which is basically a digital installer. Open your browser and search for Ubuntu Desktop Download. Click the official result titled Download Ubuntu Desktop. On the download page, choose the latest LTS, long-term support, release. Currently Ubuntu 24.04.3. LTS versions are the most stable and reliable for virtual machines. Click the download button and wait for the ISO file to finish downloading. It's a fairly large file, so depending on your internet speed, it may take a little while. Step 3. Create your Ubuntu virtual machine. Open VirtualBox, the program we just installed, and click the New button to create a new virtual machine. Give your VM a name. I recommend simply calling it Ubuntu. In the ISO image field, select the Ubuntu Desktop ISO file you downloaded earlier. Make sure to uncheck the option labeled Proceed with unattended installation. We want to enter our own username and password during setup, so turning this off is important. Configure the VM resources. Next, VirtualBox will ask you to allocate system resources. Base memory, RAM, set this to 8 gigabytes or 8,192 megabytes for smooth performance. Processors. Assign 4 CPU cores if your system can spare them. For storage, choose Create a new virtual hard disk. Set the disk size to 40 to 80 gigabytes depending on how much space you have available. Once everything looks good, click Finish. Start the VM and install Ubuntu. Now you can start the virtual machine. VirtualBox will boot from the ISO and launch the Ubuntu installer. You'll see a screen asking whether you want to try Ubuntu or install Ubuntu. Choose Install. Pick your language, and for most of the setup screens, you can simply click Next or Skip to accept the default options. When you reach the Create Account section, enter your username and password. Remember, Linux is case-sensitive, so if your username includes capital letters, you must type it exactly the same way when logging in. Finally, click Install to begin the installation process. This part can take a little while, so be patient. When it's done, click Restart Now to reboot into your new Ubuntu system. Step 4. Final setup before installing OpenClaw. Once the installation finishes, go ahead and log in using the password you created earlier. Since this is your first time booting into Ubuntu, you'll see a short welcome setup screen. Just click through the prompts. The default options are perfectly fine. After that, you'll land on the Ubuntu desktop. At this point, your virtual machine is fully set up and ready to go. Now we can move on to the fun part, installing OpenClaw inside this isolated Linux environment. Step 5. Install OpenClaw inside the Ubuntu VM. Open your web browser inside Ubuntu and go to clawdbot, which now redirects to openclaw.ai. On the homepage, you'll see the installation command for Linux. Copy the command. If your system doesn't have curl installed yet, Ubuntu will let you know. To install it, run sudo apt install curl. Once curl is installed, run the OpenClaw setup command again. Follow the OpenClaw setup wizard. The installer will download all required components. This may take a few minutes. When prompted, press Y to confirm you understand the risks. Choose Quick Start when asked for the setup mode. Next, you'll be asked which LLM provider you want to use. Since I have an OpenAI API key, I select the first option. Paste your OpenAI API key when prompted. Choose OpenAI/GPT-4o as the model. Connect your chat tool, WhatsApp example. For the chat interface, I'm using WhatsApp. Select Yes to link WhatsApp. A QR code will appear. Scan it with WhatsApp on your phone. Enter your personal phone number so OpenClaw can add it to the allow list. When asked about configuring skills, you can skip this for now. The installer will finish setting up the service. Open the web interface. Choose Open Web UI when prompted. This will launch the OpenClaw web dashboard in your browser. In the chat window, type Hi to confirm everything is working. Once it responds, try a simple test command, for example, list the files in my home folder. OpenClaw will read the directory and return a list of all files and folders, confirming that everything is installed correctly and fully operational. Step 6. Test OpenClaw through WhatsApp. Now let's switch over to WhatsApp. Send a simple hello message to OpenClaw. It should reply right away and introduce itself as your personal assistant. Try giving it a small test task, for example, remind me to turn off the stove in 2 minutes. OpenClaw will create the timer and confirm the reminder. You'll also notice that every message you send through WhatsApp appears inside the web UI as well. The chat syncs automatically, and the web UI shows even more detailed information about each interaction. Step 7. A quick tour of the OpenClaw dashboard. Now let's take a quick look around the OpenClaw dashboard so you know where everything lives. Overview gives you a snapshot of your system, the overall status of OpenClaw. Channels shows the chat platforms you've connected. Since we linked WhatsApp, you'll see its status here. Instances lists the active OpenClaw services currently running. Sessions displays your live chat connections. Cron jobs are your scheduled or repeating tasks, like reminders or timed automations. Agents are the AI assistants available for different types of work. Skills represent the specific capabilities OpenClaw can perform. Nodes show paired devices and active links. Config is where you adjust settings for models, agents, channels, and more. Logs let you see system activity and diagnostic information. This dashboard gives you full visibility into everything OpenClaw is doing behind the scenes. Step 8. Ask OpenClaw for news and set up Brave Search. Next, let's try asking OpenClaw for a quick summary of today's news. When we do that, it responds by telling us it can't perform the search because there's no Brave Search API key configured yet. So we simply ask OpenClaw how to set up the key, and it walks us through the solution. Step 9. Get a free Brave Search API key. Open your browser and search for Brave Search API key. Go to the official Brave website where they offer API access. Brave provides a free plan which is perfect for testing. Create an account, and once you're signed in, you'll be able to generate your own free API key. Step 10. Configure Brave Search in OpenClaw. Following the instructions OpenClaw gave us in the chat, open a new terminal window in Ubuntu. Paste the command it provided and replace your API key here with your actual Brave Search API key. When we run it, the terminal throws an error about the parameter key. A quick Google search shows the updated method. We simply need to run code OpenClaw configure section web. Choose the local option. Then press Y to enable web search using Brave Search. Paste your Brave Search API key again when prompted. Press Yes to enable web fetching. The configuration is now complete, but we need to restart the OpenClaw service for the changes to take effect. Restart the OpenClaw service. The terminal window we originally used to install OpenClaw doesn't have the environment variables loaded, so the OpenClaw command won't work there. Just close that window and open a fresh terminal. Run the following commands: OpenClaw gateway stop, OpenClaw gateway start. Then check the status with OpenClaw gateway status. You should see the service listed as enabled in green, along with the available endpoints, including the WebSocket and HTTP dashboard URLs. Test Brave Search through WhatsApp. Now that everything is restarted, go back to WhatsApp and try, "Please send me a brief summary of today's news in Canada." OpenClaw will instantly reply with a clean, nicely formatted summary, complete with links to the original news sources. And just like before, all your WhatsApp messages sync automatically to the web UI, so you can review your conversations and results anytime.